on and on. She's so strawberry blonde, and your summer skin's like porcelain. Your sun rays on the lawn. It goes on and on and on. You kiss me when I'm gone, and that summer kiss matching nail polish. Yeah. It's a tangerine summer.
Hello, and welcome to this month's call. So, this month, I am back in Pennsylvania. And so, I wanted to share some of the codes that have been coming through for me. And really, the main one over the last 6 months is this energy of connection. And really, what connection is remaining open to your experience, to your reality, remaining open to what's happening around you and not shutting down, despite whether or not you actually like what's happening around you or not. It's like, can you remain open regardless? And there are two books that come to mind specifically when talking about this topic. The first book is Keep Your Love On by Danny Silva. And the second book is Love is Letting Go of Fear. I can't see the author. Hold on. By Gerald Jampolsky. Love is Letting Go of Fear. Both of these books touch on the idea that basically it's your only job to remain open. Basically, it's just your job to remain open to what the world is showing you so that you can move from this place of awareness. And when we're operating through love, when we're operating through connection, when we're operating through an open heart, we actually welcome in any experience that is shown to us, and we're able to alchemize it that much more easily because of how much we allow ourselves to be open. When we allow ourselves to be open, we allow ourselves to have the impact of change. And so these last few months, I wasn't very open. This last year, I wasn't really open. I had something that happened last year, and it's no excuse, but it caused me to shut down. It caused me to want to push everyone away. It caused me to want to hide. It caused me to want to protect myself. And so inside of the Dragon's Den, we go into like all of these topics, but when you're trying to protect yourself, you're actually limiting yourself from experiencing the love that's available to you. When you're trying to push things away, you're actually calling those things closer to you. So I'm going to give you an example of this. In my business, I was like, oh, well, I had this interaction and I was like, oh, well, I definitely don't want those kind of people in my business. I definitely don't want to work with those kinds of people because one, they're not going to get the result. And two, like, it doesn't fulfill me. It drains me, right? So in an attempt to protect myself, in an attempt to push away these, I just noticed this has black on it. In an attempt to push away all of the unwanted people in my business, I actually just closed myself off from being open in my business at all because I was so focused on protecting myself from not having this experience that I protected myself to the point where I couldn't have any experiences in my business. And so I had to get the knowledge and learn in other ways. I think it's important to recognize when we're operating from a place of love or when we're operating from a place of fear, when we're operating from a place of like needing to close ourselves down in order to control the outcome. At the basis of this is control. At the basis of this is you having control. You need to have the control. This was my story. I needed to have the control. I needed to be the one in charge. I needed to be the one to organize and make sure everything was in its right spot. And if it wasn't, like, oh, it's not okay. But when we have these emotional reactions like, oh, it's not okay, oh, we actually perpetuate the problem. This is like basic fundamentals of energy. And so today, what I wanted to take us through is a somatic practice. This call is going to be kind of shorter this week or this month, but the practice itself is so powerful. So I wanted to take us through this somatic practice of opening ourselves up again. And so the sacral chakra is the void that we're connected to. So we're going to start by just identifying what void we're connected to. And then the solar plexus chakra is like the filter kind of. So like it brings things in, it pushes things out. When it comes through your solar plexus, it's like either feels really expansive or it feels like contracting. This is how you know whether or not you're saying yes or no for all of my solar plexus driven individuals in human design. So we're going to start in the sacral chakra. We're going to notice what we're connected to, and then we're going to move into the solar plexus chakra, and then we're going to understand our reactions to what it is we're connected to. And once we neutralize this reaction and open ourselves up to connection again by opening the gate, we can open ourselves up to life and actually allow ourselves to experience the things we want to experience. So I did this practice, right? And immediately after doing this practice, I had 3 people inquire with me about one-on-one after a year of silence, a year longer, almost 2 years of silence. Okay. So this is a really powerful practice for opening you back up to the world, for opening you back up to your purpose, for opening you back up to your calling, and for letting go of fear. Opening yourself to connection. And when we're opening ourselves to connection, what we're really doing is opening ourselves to unconditional love and to the God frequency. So this is going to quite literally activate your inner God or goddess. Are you ready? I'm so excited. Okay, so we're just going to take a few moments here. And I want you to really just drop into your space and feel your body. Feel the heaviness of your body. Feel the way it feels to sit on the floor, to have the floor supporting you or wherever you're sitting. And notice the earth under you, whether it's directly under you or under the foundation of your house or under a chair or under your office building, if that's where you are. And just taking a moment to really just come into the body. Finding a breathing pace that feels comfortable for you, that allows you to really soften into your own void. And once you've found a place where you feel fully softened, maybe it feels like you're laying on the earth, maybe it feels like you're hugging your mother, maybe it feels like you're owning all the parts of yourself, maybe it feels like you're hugging your inner child or your inner self. And if you haven't already, I want you to take a moment to close your eyes and just notice where you are inside. What is around you? What emotions come up when you close your eyes? What things do you feel like you're running away from? Maybe it's emotions, sensations, maybe it's you don't want something so much, like you don't want to fail, or you don't want to be seen as a failure, or you don't want to, maybe you're really scared of success and what that entails. Maybe you're afraid of being seen for who you really are. Just taking a moment to notice and take some inventory of what's going on inside of you. Continuing to breathe, anchoring into the breath, noticing that as you breathe, the charge to this situation or to this fear or to this emotion slowly lessens as you simply just allow yourself to be here with it. Then I want you to take a big deep breath, pulling the energy up from the earth into your spinal column. And I want you to imagine that as it raises up your spinal column and it meets your solar plexus, it unlocks the gate that is holding your solar plexus in its place. You may feel an expansion or compulsion, or it might feel like hunger coming from your solar plexus. Just allow that sensation to be there. Notice the relief that happens when you unlock this gate. When you open yourself up to what it is you truly want. The knowing of what you don't want is crucial for stepping into what you do want. But in order to get there, you must actually learn to focus primarily in the direction of what it is that you do want. And simultaneously surrender your path to getting there. You don't know how you're going to get there. You think the feeling of fear or the feeling of pushing something away is an indication that you're not on the right path. But what if it was an indication that you are moving towards the thing that you really want? What if you could open up again to that thing that you really want versus focusing on all the fear and all of the unwanted that is there? What would it feel like to live with the knowing that it's already yours? What would it feel like to know that your gate is always open to receiving that which you desire? Do you trust yourself in holding your desires? Do you trust yourself in being able to receive your desires? Not just receive, but maintain, sustain, uphold. What emotions come up around actually being the one who gets to receive the thing that you want? Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's an actual outcome. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a state of being. Doesn't really matter. What does it feel like to know that you, because you have the desire, are capable of holding that desire? And in fact, you are holding it right now. And the fear and the unwanted is actually evidence that you're still holding the desire, that it's still yours, that it's still in your field. And what if instead of trying to push anything away, you soften and you open up your gate and you trust that what comes your way is meant for you? You trust that what is in your field is meant for you. You trust that that desire is meant for you. And there is nothing that can stop you except for you. You might feel like openings happening in your body, maybe in your heart, maybe in your shoulders, maybe in your neck, in your lower back. Just notice the release of energy that happens when you stop trying to control it all. When you simply allow yourself to open to the possibility. What does the desire feel like in your body? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel uncomfortable? Does it feel like you're on the come up of Molly? Does it feel like you're about to drop on a roller coaster ride? And can you just let yourself hold that feeling without trying to push it away, without trying to say that you should be somewhere else or that the feeling should feel different? What if you just let the desire feel how it feels? And just breathe into that. Breathe into the scariness. Breathe into the fear. Breathe into the unknown. Breathe into the feelings of feeling like you're being invaded or being seen for who you really are for the first time. Breathe into that feeling of intimacy, no matter how it shows up for you. Even if it feels scary, even if it feels raw and vulnerable, it's just you and me here, nobody else. Mm. Now I want you to imagine that you're on a school bus on your way to your destination, and your desire is sitting there right next to you in the form of an unevolved Pokemon. And when you get to that destination, the desire will be fully evolved. Imagining yourself now knowing that you're at the destination, getting ready to get off the bus, holding hands with your desire, the fully evolved version. It doesn't matter how much time it took to get there, because it was about the journey of watching your desire evolve. It's about the journey of connection, of opening again and again and again and again. Untethered Soul. It's another book that discusses this. What does it feel like to live heart wide open, knowing that you're in the pocket of pure potential, knowing that in any moment your desire could evolve to the point of coming into fruition into your physical reality? Knowing that it never really comes and goes, it's always there, but it evolves in the way that it shows up for you, in the same way that you evolve, in the way that you show up for yourself, in the same way that God evolves, in the way that he shows up for you as you begin to evolve in the way that you show up for you. The same way that your desire evolves when you shift the way that you show up for you. The same way that your desire becomes more solid and solidified the more you anchor it in by way of how you show up for yourself. How does it feel to know that it is all in your power? In your power to open. It is in your power to let go. It is in your power to surrender. It is in your power to trust and to have faith in something bigger than you. How does it feel to serve your desires as if they were your children? Um, I want you to just take a moment to sit in this void with your desire. Sitting, noticing, communing, playing, eye gazing, giggling, kicking your feet up, making inside jokes. How does it feel to be one? To be in relationship with that desire? When it feels good to be in relationship, it doesn't matter how much time it takes. It doesn't matter how long. What matters is your degree of presence in the present moment. And so the more that you can activate presence in your present moment, the more that you can open to what you're being shown versus trying to push it away, the more that you will receive the codes that will anchor your desire further in your reality. I'm going to share a little story with you. I was so closed off to actually being a successful business owner because I thought it was so impossible. I was putting it on a pedestal. And what shifted this was, one, getting in the room of people who knew this already and who were already doing the things I wanted to do. And two, was actually just softening and trusting that this desire is on my heart for a reason. And no matter what, I'm going to remain committed to it. I'm going to remain in relationship with it. And the relationship may change, and that's okay. May evolve, and that's okay. But this desire cannot be taken away from me, no matter the obstacles that come up. This desire lives inside of me. And once I realized that, once I took my power back, once I stopped pedestalizing the money, the recognition, the success, evidence of success started to show itself to me because I was no longer separating myself from it. I was open to it, and I was one with God through it. This is your power. This is what you get to do too. You get to own your desire, and you get to be led. You get to be surrendered to the desire in the same way that it surrenders to you in the way that you show up for you. I've been in 2 masterminds in the last 6 years. In the last 6 months. And you know what both of those masterminds taught me? It's never about what anybody else has to say, it's about what you feel. And people can reflect to you, back to you, what you feel. Or they can reflect to you the opposite, and it will anchor you further into what you actually feel and what you actually want to do. You don't need the advice of anybody else. You don't need someone else holding your hand to get you where you want to go. You have all of the tools necessary, and if you don't have them right now, they will be presented to you along the journey. When you stop making it about an outcome and start making it about the process, about who you become in the process, about your journey as an individual, about your journey in relation to this desire, the whole world will shift for you. Because you're no longer externalizing the game. You became the game maker. And really, you just remembered that you are the game maker. So I want you, after you hop off of here, to really sit with this energy of your desire. Does it feel really far away? Does it feel like super intoxicating? Does it feel like fuck yes? And we need to charge the computer. And simultaneously, you get to decide how you relate to this desire. So if it doesn't feel super opening or like a fuck yes, take note of that. But also, you get to change the way that you're relating to that desire. And simultaneously, I want you to take note of the way that you're operating in your relationships, because this will show you how you're operating in relation to your desire as well. Are you putting the needs of others? That means that you're sacrificing your desire. So just take note. Take note of where you're at. And instead of letting the world move you, let your desire move you. Let your inner source move you. And begin to anchor in trust every single day that it is all working out. Best case scenario. And you really do get to have everything that you want. Having is evidence of wanting too. So if you have something that you're like, oh, I don't want this, part of you really wants to learn and grow through that experience. So understand what it is that you're learning and growing through that experience. How are you learning and growing through that experience? And then choose a different way to learn and grow through that experience, or begin to appreciate the way that you're learning and growing through that experience now. And it will become more favorable and more favorable and more favorable. You hold the power, baby. Okay. That's all I have for you today. I love you so much. And thank you for being here. I'll see you on next month's call. We made some updates to the membership. So if you've watched any of the replays in here and you're like, what the fuck? The membership. I love you so much. And I will talk to you soon. Beautiful day.